Hi there and welcome to CBD and Essential Oil Talk Radio with Marc and Nikki. If you're looking for real information about how CBD and essential oils can have a positive impact on your life, you're in the right place. Coming up on the show today, Nikki's going to be talking about some recipe stuff that she's got going on. It's a little surprise for me. We have Gladys and Joseline with us today by phone. They're the founders of Agape Aroma and authors of the Daily Oils, a user's guidebook to getting started with Young Living essential oils. It's actually for 3 different Spanish markets. I'm super excited to chat with them. And for those of you who are curious, we're diffusing frankincense and vetiver in the studio today. So smells good.
It does, and I love vetiver. That is my, you need to just calm down, girl. That is that oil for me. So I love that. So hello and welcome to the show, guys. So this past Thursday, I was digging around in my daughter's backpack, okay? Well, guess what happened?
What?
You found a live rat in there. No, I didn't. So I stuck my hand in the backpack, and immediately I pulled it out. I felt some major pain going on.
Oh, no.
A pencil stabbed me right at the bottom of my palm. And immediately I was like, oh, my goodness, it's stuck in there.
Were you gushing blood?
No.
Okay.
Because the lead was stuck in. It broke off. It was stuck
ouch.
in my palm here. So I immediately just washed my hands with some Thief soap, which is a soap that I use at my home, and some warm water. And then I just knew, just put some lavender on it, right? Because if you'll remember way back when we were out camping, not we, but my family and I were out camping, I had stepped on a splinter, and we put some, I didn't. Michaela had stepped on a splinter, and I put some lavender oil on it.
Okay.
And the next morning, that splinter just popped right out. Like, it was amazing. So I said, I'm going to try that.
Hey, before you get too farther in, can you adjust your mic just a little bit? Because your voice.
That's what I got.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. So where was I?
I think it is.
Oh, yeah. So I put the lavender oil on it. I sat down, went about my day, the evening. Then the next morning, I got up. I put a little more lavender on it. That afternoon, I was like, wait a minute, where did it go?
Oh, no.
Completely went out. The lead that was in there, you can see. It didn't leave a mark. I have a little scab.
Yeah, I see it.
There's no big, it was a dark, ugly mark in my skin.
Okay.
Like a tattoo. You know, it's gonna discolor.
Maybe it is a tattoo.
Yes, discolor. But the discoloration's gone now. It's just a little scab.
Okay.
So how wonderful is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but is it going to leave a tattoo mark or no?
Well, we'll see.
Do you have tattoos?
I don't think so.
Do you have tattoos?
It's really none of your business. I have a tattoo of love right on my heart.
Oh.
It's a mom tattoo.
Yeah.
So that obviously didn't interest you.
No, it did.
But here's something that is going to
can I add on? Can I add on to that real quick?
Sure.
So last night Brooke was shaving. She shaves her underarms, right?
Okay.
This is kind of an area that she's in.
It's November. We're not supposed to be shaving in November.
But can she dye remember we talked about it before? All right. Anyway, so she's shaving her. Well, she cuts her finger on the razor somehow. I'm not sure exactly how she managed it.
That's weird. Okay.
Well, it wasn't straight. It's not a straight razor, right? Is that what they're called? The regular razors that y'all use for your legs and stuff? I don't know what it's called. But anyway, so she cuts her finger on that. And so we put some helichrysum on it straight away. And, of course, it's always amazing to watch what happens with helichrysum on a cut because it stops the bleeding so fast. And then so she came down, we wrapped it up, put some animal sense ointment on it.
Absolutely.
And which worked really well for her. And then bandaged it up for the night. And so we're still continuing with that, but just stops the bleeding just like that. Helichrysum is one of those oils that I keep in the house all the time. I have 2 unopened bottles and 1 open bottle, and we keep them ready to go. We heard a really cool, I won't go into the details, but we heard a really cool story yesterday about a lady who was injured on one of those big oversized skateboards. I forget what they call them, but she wiped out and she hurt her head, and helichrysum really, really helped her in her recovery process. So pretty cool story. So what's your recipe we got for today?
All right. So we know the holidays are here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to happen. All of a sudden, you're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving or Christmas. There's parties. There's all kinds of get-togethers. So today I'm doing lemon cookies, but it's the easy way. Okay. It's very, very simple. You're going to use a box of lemon cake. Lemon cake.
I like lemon cake.
So here's the hack. By adding 2 eggs and a half a cup of vegetable oil to any cake mix in a box, it'll turn it into cookie dough. How's that for a hack?
Oh.
Yes. It
I like
takes
that.
the easy right out. I mean, you probably, if you want the healthy version, you got to make it yourself from scratch. But sometimes, when you're giving it away, who cares? No, that's rude. I'm just kidding. I'm totally teasing on that. So you're going to take your 1 box of lemon cake mix. You're going to add in your vegetable oil and your 2 eggs. And then you're going to add 6 drops of lemon essential oil. That's really going to give it that burst of flavor.
Yeah.
And then it's a cup of powdered sugar, but you're not going to put that in the mix. So, and then lemon frosting, right?
Okay, yeah,
so
sure.
So you take cream cheese at room temperature. Then you're going to add to that 1.5 cup of powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla, 3 drops of lemon oil.
Okay.
Because that's just, again, it's going to burst that
This
flavor.
is going to be garnished for the top of the cookie after it's cooked, right?
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why it's called frosting.
Well, I don't
Just
know what you're doing.
Making sure.
Just making sure.
So bake your cookies, basically. I'll put the recipe on our blog.
Okay.
But
and pictures, too?
And they're amazing.
Are you going to put pictures, too?
Yeah.
Because I'm hungry.
Well, I've got something for you later.
Do you really?
I have a tasty treat for you today.
Yeah, for our other podcast, Real Talk Radio.
That's right. But how easy is that when you're in that hurry and you're like, man, I don't have lemons, I don't have this, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Just a simple box of a lemon cake mix can totally be changed with a little bit of egg, 2 eggs. And
that lemon oil really makes the recipes pop.
Yes, it does.
It does. It's really good.
It's a flavor, and then people are gonna be like, I want that.
Yeah.
So we'll let you try those later.
So up on the screen, we've got a couple of guests who are going to be joining us in a minute here. Let me take a quick commercial break. Quick note for folks that are interested in learning about essential oils or CBD. We have an easy way now for folks to do that. You just simply, if you want it by phone, by text, you text the word CBD to 210-910-4174. If you want to learn some basic information about oils, essential oils, you just text oils to the same number, 210-910-4174. We'll get the information sent right out to your phone. And then our sponsor, so we had a really big event this past Saturday at here in San Antonio. The San Antonio Empowerment Council put on, and some of the feedback that I was getting from Young Living was actually at the rally. And some of the bullet points they were saying was that it really felt like a convention experience.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, which is exactly what we've been going for, right? So it's really nice to hear that validation on what we're doing, because we had the pre-show stuff with our podcast where we interviewed Haley Zitting, who does the training and education department. And then we talked to Sherry Ross and Clell Fowles. Clell's, of course, the science guy for CBD. So that was like the pre-show, and then we had the actual event, and of course we recorded all of that, so people are going to be able to catch who was at the event. They're going to be able to catch the replay of that. Right. So that's pretty exciting. Anyway, they've got another rally coming up on January 18th. It's only 2 months away. It's going to come up so fast.
Weeks. We'll be here like in 3 days.
Yeah, I know, right? The holiday season, just everything pushes through fast. So we got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all happening right before the rally. So we're going to be busy. Anyway, so January 18th, the huge CBD and essential oil rally going on here in the Bernie, San Antonio area. It's going to be up at the Bevy Hotel. The keynote speaker is going to be Marcella Von Harding, who is a Young Living Royal Crown Diamond. She's going to be sharing some amazing insight and personal experience with essential oils. So for details on this and all other events that the San Antonio Empowerment Council is putting on, visit saecevents.com. All right, so we're going to be bringing on, I wanted to cue the music. You know how much I like the music.
I know.
So we are going to have Gladys and Joseline are joining us by phone today. They're the founders of Agape Aroma and the authors of The Daily Oils, a guide to getting started with Young Living essential oils. And I have the books here. There's 3 of them, which it's hard enough to write one book, but no, let's write 3 books, right, for 3 different markets. So the amount of
dedication.
It is. It's a lot
amazing.
Of work.
Yes.
So Gladys and Joseline, can you guys hear me okay?
Hi, yes. Hi, how
Hi,
are
ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, well, let's get to know you gals a little bit. So on your photograph here, which folks can see up on the screen if they're watching by video, so who's on the left wearing glasses?
That would be me, Joseline.
That's Joseline, okay, and then Gladys will be on the right.
Correct.
All right, cool. That's good orientation. So how do you guys know each other? What's the backstory here?
Yes, so we know each other about 10 years now, and we weren't really good friends. We actually met each other in church in New Jersey, and she was the children's ministry director there, and me and my husband volunteered. And we just sat one day and we talked, and she would do that every so often just to see how things were going. And then all of a sudden I noticed that she was moving to Georgia, and so were we.
Oh, wow.
Around the same time. So then after that, we got back together here in Georgia. And from there, many other stories.
So I guess whoever wants to go first, let's start with how were you introduced to essential oils?
So that was about 3 years ago in January. So January next year, 2020, will be 3 years that I was introduced to Young Living.
And which one's, who is this?
That's me, Jocelyn.
Oh, Jocelyn. Okay, go ahead.
So I was introduced by Young Living through a friend who posted a video on Facebook about Projections Plus.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
It definitely saved my life.
Oh, wow.
I suffered from endometriosis, adenomyosis. I had bleeding of the uterus. I had ovarian cysts. I had polyps. I had it all.
Wow.
And in 4 years, I had 9 surgeries. My last surgery, I had my cervix removed, and my doctor gave me a synthetic hormone patch to use for the rest of my life, because at that time, my last surgery, I was 39 years old. And he said that I needed to use this for as long as I could so that I didn't go on early menopause. And 3 years into wearing this hormone patch, my last appointment with him, just to make sure that everything was going well, he told me that me being on this hormone patch was going to cause more damage than what I had already been suffering.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, you need to have a mammogram every 3 to 6 months because of the dangers of being on the synthetic hormone patch.
Well, that's not scary at all. Wow.
No. And then his last words to me, and that was the last time I went to him, he said, the quicker we find the breast cancer, the better, because then we'll just treat it.
Oh my gosh.
And I sat there and I said, really? That's what you have for me? And, I went home and I was upset, and I told my husband, and he said, well, we have to find something better. You can't go from worse to worse. And I felt like God had this all planned, because that night I couldn't sleep, and I was on Facebook scrolling through the posts, and I find this video that my friend had posted. And her tagline to the video said, if you suffer from hot flashes and night sweats, take a look at this video. If you can get past the quirkiness of this guy, he has a lot of information to share. And so, of course, I was intrigued. And it was a video from Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton.
Oh, yeah.
And he was very quirky. So I fast forwarded.
It's too funny.
Yeah. And it was an enlightenment for me, because he made the points of everything that I was going through, and I could not sleep after that night. I was up all night looking. I said, who is Young Living? What is Young Living? What is essential oils? And I was on YouTube and the internet, and I was looking at the Young Living website, and I just said, like, I know that God answers prayers, but does he answer prayers that quickly? Woke up in the morning and I told my husband that there's an oil that I wanted to try, and his response was, really? An oil? And I said,
that's your answer? A little.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, you know what do I have to lose?
Right.
That hormone patch that I was wearing, it was $300 a month.
Oh, wow.
And the bottle of Projections Plus was $38. So I said, if it doesn't work, I'll go back to the doctor and I'll tell him he has to give me something different.
Were you out of pocket that $300 for the patch?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Every month. And so I started using the Projections Plus. Within 2 weeks, I noticed a huge difference. I wasn't having those headaches, those night sweats. And I was like, well, let me go 4 weeks. I was optimistic, and I said, well, maybe this is helping me. I feel a lot better. At that time, I started talking to Gladys about Young Living, and I said, I've been looking at this website, and they have all these oils, and I said, this one is helping me, and I'm not miserable. I don't have the night sweats. I don't have the hot flashes. And immediately Gladys was like, okay, if you get yourself a kit that has all these oils, I want to get it too. And
cool. It's good to do it with a friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been running since.
That's pretty much has been how we found Young Living.
So how's your health now? Are you doing better? I mean, of course, I know you're saying you're feeling better, but as far as the cancer stuff goes, is that all better or?
Yeah, so I've gone to several doctors afterwards, and I've gone to just get second opinions, and they told me that because I don't have any natural hormones, that there is no possibility for me to have any breast cancer because I don't have that, so long that I don't go back into those synthetic hormones.
Oh, gotcha.
So I just use my Progestins Plus. I use PD8020 and Cortisol. I use Clary Sage. So I just have a arsenal of oils and supplements that I use now. I've gone every year. I take a health physical, and my hormone levels are normal all the time.
Oh, very
which
good.
Is fantastic, yes. And I feel great. I don't have the symptoms of being on early menopause.
All right.
That's good to hear. I know I'm in the age category where menopause is, slowly like knocking on the door there. I'm like, nah, not with this.
That's
so
right.
Awesome.
Yeah. It truly, really saved my life because I did not know if there was going to be an end to this.
Yeah.
What a blessing. That's amazing.
Huge blessing. We heard similar stories over this past weekend when it comes, of course, stabilizing hormones and all that kind of stuff. So awesome. Okay. So anything else you guys want to add to the backstory on essential oils?
How about you, Shay?
So my story is right after she started telling me about these oils. At that time, my son was about, I think, 12 years old, and he had been on ADHD medication.
Okay. So, but just for our listeners, who's speaking?
This is Gladys. I'm sorry.
All right. No, that's no problem. Go ahead, Gladys.
So he was on medication for ADHD. And the first question I said to her is, do they have anything for ADHD? So she said, let me find out. And right away, she contacted me back and said there's 3 oils, which is vetiver, lavender, and cedarwood. And I said, order them. Just order them for me. She did. I received them like in a couple days. And I told my son, today, you're not taking your medicine. You're going to take this oil. And I put it into a roller bottle for him. And that day I texted him about 2:00 that afternoon, and I said, how are you feeling? And he said, Mom, I feel great. I can focus and I can eat, because he had lost his appetite. He wasn't eating. He was losing weight. And I just felt like I was doing so much wrong to my son because these medications are so bad for them. But I was so happy to hear that. And we continued. And I think within a week, I purchased my kit. And like I said, we have been running since. And we have not looked back since then.
Have you all heard Nikki's backstory on that too? She's. Have you shared that?
I'm emotional right now thinking about it.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's basically the exact same story for me.
That's awesome.
We had a rally here, and so NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness, right? So Nikki did a presentation there, and she kind of gave her backstory on that. I'm not sure if you talked about that on our show yet or not, but so yeah, there's definitely a commonality there between y'all. So that's very, very special. Thank you for sharing those backstories. You never know who that's going to touch and help.
That's right.
Folks. So, all right. So let's talk about why you guys, I'm really curious why you chose the name Agape Aroma. So talk a little bit about agape, what that means. It's a Spanish word. But why did you choose that for your business? I'm curious to know that.
I think I know their answer.
All right, but let's.
So agape is actually Greek.
Oh, Greek.
And it's God's greatest love.
Okay.
And when we build up business, we wanted to put God in the center of it all. And we could not find a name for it. And one day my mother-in-law comes to my house, and she is, talking to us, and we're telling her what we're doing. And she was like, okay, I'm going to get really biblical with you girls. And she said, how about agape? And it was almost instantly that we looked at each other and we said, that's it. That is what we're going to use. And if you look at our logo, at the A, it has a heart.
Uh-huh.
That is God's greatest love. It's his heart. It's our heart.
Yeah, I'm pulling up your website
I
now.
love it. Yep.
On the homepage.
Agape love. As soon as I saw agape,
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's agape love. And that's to serve others, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So I missed it, but the heart is off to the left there. It kind of starts the whole agape thing, but I missed that before. So very, very cool. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay her a royalty on the name? So
Yeah, she has to give it to Jesus. 10%.
10%.
She's tithing it.
All right. So we're mainly going to focus on your book, but tell me a little. You guys do jewelry too? Is that right? I saw something about that on your website.
Yes. So actually, about a year ago, we wanted to go to convention, and we really were just starting with Young Living at the time. So we are like, what can we do to kind of raise the money for both of us to go? Because it's a little expensive for us here in Georgia, flying out to Utah. So we started to make bracelets, and then it took off. Like, people started to love them, and we started to do vendor shows, and they kept wanting for more. So we started doing leather bracelets, and then we went to earrings, and it just took off, and it took us to Utah. It took us to the convention. But now we're kind of gearing a different way. So we're going to let go of the jewelry.
Oh, okay.
We're closing down the jewelry company and just continuing on with our translations and our books and all the continuous with Spanish resources.
Do you guys have inventory you're looking to get rid of, or are you all sold out?
So right now, everything is 50% off. We're trying to get rid of everything.
Okay.
Everything that's on the website is what we have left.
And that's at agapearoma.com, right?
Correct.
All right, very good. All right, cool. So with respect to your book, The Daily Oils, A Guide to Getting Started with Young Living Essential Oils, so it's written for 3 markets. So what are the markets, and why did you do it this way?
So there's 3 markets because every country has its own kit specific to that country. So Ecuador has their own oils in their premium starter kit. Mexico has their own premium starter kit. And then the U.S. has their own premium starter kit. So in order for us to be able to do the book specific for that country, we had to change each book for that country.
All right. So give me an example. I'm looking at your book now.
Is it different oils you talk about in different books?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that Ecuador has a different starter kit oil-wise. Like the oils are not the same as in the U.S. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. They actually have ylang ylang in their premium starter kit.
Yeah, that's not fair, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
And purification?
When we were doing the research, we're like, oh my gosh, that is not fair.
And aroma ease? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole ylang-ylang thing, though, I mean, I guess it would be because it grows so well there in Ecuador, right? Is that the only place it grows?
Ylang ylang. I know that Puerto Rico has a tree. I don't know where else they get their ylang ylang from.
Right.
I know that there is other places that do have ylang. It all depends on their farms, I guess.
Were you given a reason by Young Living as to why, or no?
No.
Okay.
It probably has to do with how much is available. So I love aroma ease too. That's a good one. How do I get the Ecuadorian starter kit? It has joy in it. So did you know?
It has joy. Yes.
So joy used to be in our starter kit a long time ago. When you guys got started, did you get joy or no?
No.
Yeah. So joy was back. So now I feel old, but anyway.
Well, you are.
So yeah. So aroma ease, that's a standout. Joy, that's huge. And then of course purification is always good in there. But I'm looking in the book now. I'm looking for the ylang. There it is, ylang ylang. So they got to be spoiled there in Ecuador because that's a big hit. So what's different in the Mexican market? What do they get that we don't? Anything?
So in Mexico, they have Copaiba, they have purification and RC. And then in Mexico, which is really big and it differentiates us to Mexico, is that they don't have vitality oil.
Oh, okay.
Their vitality oil is called Plus, and they cannot say that they can put that Plus oil, which is the vitality oil, in a vegetable pill so that they can use it as a supplement.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so the plus line is as an additive to add flavor to your foods and your drinks only.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not seeing any of the
So,
plus
not
in
on
the
our-
kit.
So the orange plus.
Yeah.
I see that in there.
Oh, that's in the kit?
Yep.
I'm looking at the Mexican one. I didn't see it.
That's
All
the
right.
only one.
Okay.
That's smart.
Oh, yeah, I
Y'all
see it
wanna
now.
see-
I do. I see the little plus mark on there, a little plus emblem. Very, very cool. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So that's got to be really, really helpful for folks that are trying to, okay, so they get their kit, or maybe somebody's trying to explain a kit to them. Now you've got a good follow-along book that's in their native language so that they can really kind of understand the power of what's available to them. Does it go in depth into how the oils can be used, or is it pretty very compliant, I guess, is like by U.S. standards, or is it more liberal?
No, it's actually very compliant. That was one thing that we had to go through with Young Living to make sure that the book was compliant for all 3 countries. And we wanted to make the book where it was easy for the viewer to read and understand, and not make it too complicated so that they become afraid of using the oils.
Right. Yeah, scare them.
Yeah, we don't want to scare them. We want them to fall in love with the oils.
So when you guys, I'm getting that maybe you sent this to Young Living and had them kind of go through it and approve it first, or?
So we learned a lot.
Yeah. Tell us about that process.
Yeah. So we published the book. We had approached Life Science Publishing to publish our book. And after several conversations, it was decided that we were going to do self-publishing. And so we self-published in May, and we sold several copies between May and early June. And then I get a phone call from Young Living Compliance.
Oh,
and
scary.
Yeah. And the phone call was, hey, Joseline, we got wind that you're selling a book, and you can't do that.
Oh.
So after several conversations and several emails, we just learned that although the pictures are ours that we took personally, that we can't, unless we have a license with Young Living, we cannot have any content or imagery that has the Young Living logo.
Oh, I got you.
So we had to go through compliancy, we had to go to branding, and we were getting ready to go to Utah to sell our books. Like, we paid for, the vendor event, and we ordered, thousands of copies of books. And so we were Young Living was trying to work with us, and we were trying to work with them. And at the end, we became partners with Oily App. So we're using the Oily App license.
Oh, I got you.
And in return, we're working with them to translate their app, which coincidentally, it's going to go live within the next couple of days.
Oh, very good.
Yes. And then Oily App also, they have 12 books that they've published. Andy Jenkins and Dr. Jim Bob. They've published about 12 books, and we already translated one of their books. So we're taking care of all the Spanish lingual that they want from us, and the return is that we're using their license.
Okay, and how do folks find the app?
So they can go to the App Store and just look for Oily App, and it's the one with the teardrop on it. And it's English right now, and then within the next few days, really the next 2-3 days, if you want it in Spanish, it's just going to be a toggle, and you switch it to Spanish.
Oh, very easy.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Especially here in San Antonio.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
We got some folks that are going to be excited about that.
Absolutely.
They're already excited about your book, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
The app is going to be live within the next couple of days, and we also translated one of the first series of their 12, which is All Things Thieves, and the book is on Amazon, and it's called Todo Thieves.
Okay.
So everything thieves, and a Spanish viewer can go online, go to Amazon, and purchase the book, and it's in Spanish, and it's a great book.
So I'm curious. So how did the connection get made between you and Oily App? Because I imagine that would have been a stressful time for you guys. It's like, hey,
can't
we
imagine.
put all this effort into the book. We're getting ready to go. We made investment in time and money and emotional, investment. And then, you get this heartbreaking news. And I know that, Young Living Compliance, they're great folks. They're not looking to crush people's dreams. They're really looking to help folks, but they have rules they gotta abide by as well. So how does the connection get made between you and Oily App? Who made that connection for you guys, or was it just completely by accident?
So it was not by accident. I think that God orchestrated the whole thing.
Okay.
So our upline, she knew that we published a book, and in fact, our upline and the entire team and our Royal Crown Diamond, they were sharing the book with their Crossline members and Crossline friends, Crossline Diamonds and Royal Crown Diamonds. And so they knew we were already trying to push the book out to all the Young Living members. So when we got the phone call from compliance, I reached out to my upline, and she said, wait a minute, how about if you speak to Myra Yarborough, who is your Royal Crown Diamond, and tell her what's going on? I'm sure that she can come up with a resolution. So she was tagged into the message, and she said, ladies, I'm doing a video right now, and I'm watching what's going on, but I think there's something that we can do. And so after a couple of phone calls, actually it was like one phone call, and the very next day, it turned out that Ernie Yarborough, which is Myra's husband, owns Oily App. And so she reached out to him. She showed him the book, and she said, these girls, this is what's going on. And he was like, this book is tremendous. We can help them, and they can help us. So we got into phone calls and signed contracts and became partners with them. And from there, we've just been running with them.
So how did that feel? How did you feel after? I mean, there had to have been some tears shed, I would imagine.
Oh, my
just
goodness.
the relief, but how did that feel when you got that? Or I guess this is what's going to happen. This is how we're going to help you.
Yeah. So when we got the first phone call from compliance saying that we had to pull the book, and I mean, it was not just pulling the book. We also had to remove pictures, and they wanted to dissect the book because we didn't have that license. And I went to Gladys's house. I called her up and I said, Gladys, I need to talk to you. And she had no idea what I was going to talk about. And I went to her house, and she saw my face, and I was crying.
Oh.
And I said, Gladys, our book that we spent one entire year working and writing and putting it together, we have to, it's not going to happen. And we literally got on our knees in her husband's office, and we just prayed. And we prayed. And we said, God, this is you. And if you don't want it to happen, if this is not what you want from us, just close that door. But if this is what you want, then put the people in place in front of us so that we can talk to. And then we got in contact with Ernie. And of course, it was just like a huge sigh of relief. And then we just realized that this is what God wants from us. We both left our jobs full time to write this book and start creating resources in Spanish for members. So it was not just personally, but it was also financially for our family that we left both jobs to do this.
So if somebody's looking to write a book for, Young Living, what advice would you give them to when they're starting out?
Oh, good question. Go for it. Don't stop. Right? I think that if you have something in your heart and it keeps tugging at it, you should do it. You should have faith that God is in the midst of it, but also go to Young Living and get permission.
Work with them during the whole process, I'm guessing.
That's it first.
Who's the contact over there? Do they call compliance, or who do they call?
It's compliance. They call compliance, and anybody that answers the phone in compliance. Yeah.
So my question, you said you did that, but then you had chose to just go ahead and self-publish. Was it a financial issue at that point?
No, they were actually working with Life Science Publishing, and then that turned into a self-publishing deal there. That's how that got started.
So when you called compliance, then they called you and said you need to pull it?
Yeah, we told them that we were going through Life Science, and that was one of their suggestions for us to do. Was to self-publish.
Life Science said you should self-publish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they forgot that other part about make sure you, you coordinate with Young Living.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's kind of a big
Okay.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Life
Yeah.
Science Publishing. Come on now.
One of my favorites. No,
And yeah, we're so
well,
grateful for them because we learned a lot because of this. Because
Sure.
it could have
absolutely.
been very easy for them to pick up the book and publish it for us, and we would have known the back end of what it takes to really publish a book. So we learned because now we're gonna start producing more material. So it's great for us.
So a major learning process. I'm actually in the process of writing a book as well. So I've learned a lot today, and I appreciate you,
Oh,
giving those answers. I may call you guys later.
So, all right. So we got a couple more things we need to cover here, and really loving all of the information that's coming out, and that's what I like about these types of conversations.
Yes.
And we don't have hard lines, right? We can kind of carry the podcast a little bit longer if we want to. But do you have other projects in the works right now? What I know you do, but what are they?
So yes, we do. This is Gladys speaking. So we have the Oily app, all the books that we're going to be translating in Spanish for Oily app. And then at the moment we started brochures. So we're going to be taking brochures because we're going to the Mexican Latin American convention this weekend. We leave Wednesday for the convention there.
Oh, wow.
And yes.
What's the convention date for that?
So it's November 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Okay.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they end. But we'll be there Wednesday. We're taking brochures with us, and it's going to be specific to Mexico. So they're going to have all their oils in the premium starter kit in this brochure, and it talks a little about what is an oil, what are the oils, and how to use them. It's little things in there that other brochures don't have.
Yeah, that's a really big deal that you guys are going to go down there with those materials.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yeah,
there are so many people here, just in our city, that would benefit from.
Oh, yes.
From these.
South Texas,
so,
big time.
We're not that far from Mexico.
No, we're not.
We're really not.
Just a couple hours.
How often do you visit San Antonio, or have you ever?
I have never been to Texas.
Oh.
Well, if you do, come here.
I would love to visit.
So
Yeah.
Diamond Bound is going to be in
Dallas.
I think
I
it's next
know.
July, right? I'm not sure the date of it. I really don't know, but I imagine you guys will be up there for that.
It's September, actually, because
Oh.
it's my daughter's birthday weekend. It's September 25th through the 27th, or 24th through 26th, something like that, in Dallas.
Are you guys going to
Yeah.
be there or no?
We hope to be there.
Okay. Well, that's a good answer. I
Well, I
like that.
may drive just to see y'all and get some brochures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Jennifer's putting together a team to go up there for Diamond Bound. So anyway.
Oh, that's
All right, so let's back up a little bit to goals. So what I think I know the answer to this, but just so we can get it all together, what's the goal of the book? You guys, obviously, you're getting out there. You had a great backstory on publishing the book. I absolutely love the backstory on that. But what's your goal for the end user? What's the goal for it?
So before I answer that, we have one more project that we're working on, and we wanted to share it with you guys.
Oh,
because
exciting.
This is a really, really unique to the Spanish community, is that we, it's in the printer and they're printing it as we speak. We created a planner, a Spanish planner for the business person in mind.
Oh.
And it is absolutely beautiful. I have a background in teaching time management, and so I am a planner by heart, and
Okay.
I like the planner notebook. So I designed the planner, and it is stunning. I cannot wait to share with you pictures and imagery so that you can see it. But we're also taking that with us to Mexico.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. If you have a picture of the cover of that, maybe send it to me. I'll try and get it on the video. We'll try and overlay it. But
All right, we'll do that.
awesome. And what was the target for that one to be released?
It's printing now.
November 7th.
Yeah.
This coming weekend. Yeah.
Right.
It's printing now. We're taking it to Mexico, and then when we get back from Mexico, then we'll publish it for the U.S. market.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome.
I love that. And if that doesn't, for me, you talked about agape earlier. How awesome are you guys at serving others and people that have that language barrier, right?
Yeah.
So I have lots of friends that speak Spanish, and sometimes they're like, well, I want to explain it to my mom, but she doesn't understand.
Yeah, good
And
point.
now I have something. So I'm holding on to these books. Thank you guys so much for giving me these books.
What you
I
need to do
appreciate
is
it.
share them and buy more.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm holding on to. Well, I already have 2 people that said, "Well, can I have them when you're done talking to them?" I said, "Absolutely not." I'll make you a screenshot of 1 page and show you where to get it. But yeah, these are great. You guys really are serving others by doing that. So I thank you.
So end goal for the book.
Yeah, so the end goal is that we want to share this book with every person that we can possibly get our hands on. That means that Young Living members, whether they're bilingual, Spanish or English speaking, we want them to have a couple of books in hand, because it is the book that will help them to introduce Young Living to a Spanish speaking person. Whether they purchase their kit and they want to give it to them as a gift, so that they can continue to learn about the company, or it's someone that they run into at the doctor's office and they see that they can benefit from the essential oils, and they can say, hey, I have this book in my pocketbook, let me give this to you. And then that could be a potential new member. We had in Utah, we spoke to a couple of, individuals that came by to our table, and I convinced a lady, American, English speaking, didn't know a lick of Spanish, to convince her to purchase a book. And I told her, take the book, drop it off at the doctor's office, or keep it in your bag, or, go where the Latin community is and introduce Young Living with this book. And so she purchased the book, and coincidentally, she runs into us in Tennessee at Diamond Bound. And she pointed at me and she says, you convinced me to buy this book. And I was just being kind, and I bought the book. And she says, and I'm at home and I run into this lady, and sure enough, she and I are talking, and I tell her, you know what? I have a book at home that I can give to you. So she goes home, gets the book, and gives it to this young lady. And this person is now a business builder for her.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
That's a really cool idea. Really cool idea.
And she picked up a couple more books.
Yeah, I would imagine, right? And go by the doctor's offices in the Spanish community. We have that here in San Antonio, too. Yep. We need to go drop these off there with the little sticker on the thing and see if you want more information, contact this person. So that's awesome. All right, cool. Yeah. What other tips, any other tips and insight about the book you want to give as we kind of wrap it up?
Other tips.
So, you know what is the price of your book?
And where do they get it?
Yep, this one right here. Well, all of them, but for me, the one that I would use most is the United States side, right? I'm hoping.
The U.S. Spanish market?
The U.S. Spanish market, thank you. What is the price of this book?
So the book is at $17.95, and on our website, agapearoma.com, we have wholesale pricing. So you can buy them in bulk, and we have different targets so that you can look at, and the more you buy, the less it is. We are looking at lowering the price. So we have a new printer, and he's working with us. So as soon as we're able to print a new run, then we're going to actually start lowering the price. But right now, we're excited with the way the book is, and I know that it's going to bless so many people. So
yeah, it's beautiful, by the way. It's very nice inside and out. It's not too much reading or writing.
No.
There, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and then another great thing is we want all our viewers to know is that 10% of each sale goes to the Young Living Foundation.
Oh, perfect.
You guys are awesome.
Wow, who said that? Whose idea was that?
Oh, I love the foundation. So I am a giver at heart. I've been in ministry for many years. And when Gladys and I said we have to tithe, for our company, Agape Aroma, and I said, well, we're just not going to tithe to any organization. We're going to tithe to the Young Living Foundation. We're going to give back to Young Living.
And that's such a good cause, too, because, of course, folks know that, at least within the Young Living circles, that 100%, dollar for dollar, 100% of everything donated goes directly to the use that it's intended for, not to admin fees, because Young Living picks up the tab on all the admin fees.
Yeah.
Plus, they do such amazing work all over the world. It's awesome.
I know. For the rally, this weekend's rally, I had chills. It was great.
Oh, by seeing the video?
Yes, I became a freedom fighter, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to sponsor a child when I'm able to do that, and I'm just so excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so as we wrap up with you guys, where can they find the book? Give them the website address again so that they know where to find it.
So it's agapearoma.com.
All right, awesome. All right, anything else you guys think that our listeners need to know?
No, I think that's it. I'm so appreciative of being on this call for you and Nikki. I love having this conversation with you guys. I can't wait to meet you in Texas.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So I know our listeners will get a lot of benefit out of this. I mean, not only did we talk about the book, we talked about the process, your backstory. Hopefully folks will appreciate that, and you really kind of feel like they know you a little bit better and want to go out there, support your cause, what you're doing, and support the Spanish market that needs it. Because I know we need it around here. We've had so many folks ask for good quality Spanish materials, and
Yes,
this
is wonderful.
Yeah, it's
You're-
above.
Yeah, you guys are just really going to make a lot of people's day around here. So thank you.
Oh,
You're
so
welcome.
excited. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, you have a great rest of the week, and catch our show when you can. Share it with as many folks as you can, and we'll chat with you again soon.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you so much, Mark and Nikki.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all take care and God bless.
Okay, you too.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How
Well, that was fun, right?
wonderful. Yes. I love it. It's perfect.
I really liked digging into the mechanics of book publishing because I've heard some stories about that can be a little bit, you put a lot of your life into something and then
Yep.
boom, it blows up on you like, ouch.
As they started talking, my wheels were just a turning. I'm like, oh, listen up, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to benefit. You will be able to benefit
I
from
will
some of
benefit
that.
from today's show. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I benefit from every show, but this is very personal to me because of what I'm doing. So
Excellent. All right, as we wrap up, quick reminder, check out our latest podcast on all the usual podcast platforms. Be sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We post videos of the show, and that's a really great way to kind of watch the interaction go on. There's links to everything you need to know in the details below. That's it for us. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next show.
all right, bye guys.